Hey y'all, Steve here with Adventure Outdoors. If you're considering one of the Ram Wedge Mounts, I thought I would show you how I'm using mine and how they put together. I love it. It's a great accessory for my Jackson Big Tuna Kayak. When you get your Ram Wedge Mount, you're going to open it up and it's not going to come assembled, so you're going to have to assemble it yourself. It's going to come in several pieces, and the only thing that you're going to need is a Phillips head screwdriver. Okay, I'm going to show you how to assemble this, and it's just a little bit kind of screwy, but stick with me and we'll get this thing together. It's actually quite easy, but it's a little bit confusing if you've never done one. First thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to install your O-rings. So simply slide those up over the piece and put them into the top groove on this piece. They fit in there just nicely, just perfect. And on the second piece, you're going to do the same thing. Just slide it up. Put it into the top of that piece, and you're set. Alright, the next step is a little bit screwy, but I'm going to show you how to do it. It's a little bit unusual, but you have to do this. If you'll look, you'll see a little opening down there. What we have to do is we have to get this hexagon bolt in position. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this screw to help us. Very long screw. So what you're going to do is take it up through the bottom and thread just a little bit of this on the top. And now we're going to pull it back through. It's going to wedge itself in there just nicely, and once it's wedged in there, I want you to unscrew it and remove the screw. So now we've left the hexagon bolt in there and we've removed the screw. Okay, let's lay this to the side. We're not going to mess with that right yet, so let's lay that to the side. Let's go to our next step. Our next step is we are going to take the screw, drop it into the top of the ram ball, and by the way, I'm using an 1.5 inch ram ball. So we're going to drop that into the top. Next step, we're going to drop the screw down into this top plate right there, and as you can see, you see the little ridges, the little pop-ups there. They will correspond and fit inside there, and it'll hold tightly. Will not be any slippage. So let's drop it into the top, and at this point it looks like this. You're going to take that spring that came with it, you're going to drop the spring all the way in there, and holding your finger on the end so the screw can't go anywhere. This is where we are at now. Okay, our next step is, you know where we put our little hexagon bolt inside there? What we're going to have to do now is we're going to stick our finger in there and just hold that in place. We've got our finger holding this one in place, and we're going to match these two parts up. So I'm going to drop that in there. I can feel it touching. So now I'm going to start the threading process of this screw onto that little bolt. I can feel it with my finger. It's started. So now I'm going to grab my flathead and start screwing it in a little bit. Alright, now I've seated it. It's in there good. I have seated it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull them apart like so. I'm going to hold this one. I'm going to stretch this one out a little bit, and I am going to continue. I'm providing a little bit of tension there, so I'm going to start screwing this in, and it's going to slowly start pulling the bottom piece in. As you can see, it's drawing it in. And that's really the only kind of weird thing you have to do to assemble this. Alright, I've got it together. It's all put together. I've left this intentionally loose. There's a reason for that. We're going to show you when we mount it into the rod holder on the kayak. Now the reason that I keep it loose is because I'm going to do my final tightening once I've pushed it inside of where I want it, inside my flush mount rod holder. Now you can see it's got these two little stub pieces out. That's going to keep it from dropping inside your rod holder and making it difficult to get out. I've even got some water in there from last week's trip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it in there. Right there is where I want it. It's fine. And at this point in time, I'm going to take my Phillips head screwdriver. I'm going to start tightening it up. And you know, it's going to draw that second piece in, and it's going to actually use the rubber O-rings, and it's going to start expanding this piece inside the rod holder. So as I tighten it, I can feel it getting more and more firm. So right there, I've tightened it pretty good, and it's not going anywhere at this point. You're in there for good. So I like that. I don't have to worry about anything snagging and pulling this wedge mount out. It's in there for good, very tight. And now if I want to take it out, I simply just loosen it again. You can see. And now I just easily pull it out. Simple. It's a great mount designed by Ram. Once you get your Ram wedge mount installed, you can then add all the other cool Ram accessories to it with ease. There you go, easy peasy, as they say. Hey, I'm Steve with Adventure Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I'll see all of you in my next video. Take care.